Welcome back to Native Speaker. Here we're going to look at causal expressions plus how do you mean links. When we look at causal relationships, these sentences will have a structure. You'll start with a subject, which might include a gerund subject, like here, learning language, which is a verb ing plus a noun. Then you can have either a modal or an auxiliary verb plus an adverb. So can often, may sometimes, can frequently, can sometimes, or just the modal verb can, or may, or might. These combinations here and here give you a little bit more flexibility in your point, and this is called hedging. Here we see this is used to create a sentence in the present perfect and add more intensity. When we look at the causal phrases themselves, we'll see that inside this blue box area here, we've emphasized a few issues. So causal phrase like key factor use the verb be and the article a. This must work with the preposition in and the verb ing. Play a major role. Well, major role must use an article a. It must use the verb play, and it works with the preposition in and the verb ing. Significant contributing factor must use an article a, and it uses the verb be and the preposition to. Can use in, but it's much less common, and it must use the verb ing. Contribute to, lead to, and result in do not need a verb because they are already verbs themselves and therefore do not need an article. But if you use a verb, it must be verb ing. Sometimes I show you that you can drop the verb, but if you use a verb, it must be ing. The nouns impact, influence, and effect can use an adverb like hugely positive impact or extremely beneficial influence. So it could use an adverb adjective plus the noun here. These structures, impact, influence, and effect, must use the verb have, and they will need an article. However, if you use the adverb quite, the article moves from here over here. Okay? They use the preposition on and verb ing. However, if you change impact, influence, and effect to their adjective forms, impactful, influential, and effective, these will no longer use the verb have, they must use the verb be. You will drop the article, and then on will change to in, and then you will use verb ing. So as you can see here, the devil's in the detail. One of the main causes is one of the phrases here that is only used for negative situations. The others can vary a little for both positive and negative, but this one can only be used with negative situations. It must use the verb be. Now, of course, that can be or is, or was, or were, or has been. So remember, there are many forms to be. Here we're using be because we have the modal verb might. There will be no article. Why not? Because one of replaces the article, and then the preposition of. If you use a verb, it will be verb ing. Now, if you want to develop these points, I'm going to introduce you to these three lovely phrases that I call the how links, or the how do you mean link. These answer the question how. So if you want to develop your sentence more, explaining how you have this opinion, you'll use the development links in that, in the sense that, and in so far as. They are in that, in the sense that, and in so far as. And these phrases are fantastic for developing your sentence that little bit further. And then after you've said that, you'll write a short sentence here that is your explanation. So for example, it can help avoid private sector malfeasance. So government regulation can often be a key factor in addressing banking irregularity, in that it can help avoid private sector malfeasance. Malfeasance is dishonest management. Maybe somebody is stealing something in the management team. Okay? Don't forget that all of these must use verb ing. It is not an option to use any other verb form, infinitive or past, doesn't matter. They must use verb ing. Oh, but what if my sentence is in the past? Doesn't matter. You must use verb ing. Oh, but what if my sentence is in the future? Doesn't matter. It must be verb ing. Why? These causal phrases decide which verb form to use here. Okay, let's have a look now at some sentences. Government regulation can often be a key factor in addressing banking irregularity in that it can help avoid private sector malfeasance. Chronic stress may sometimes play a major role in affecting personal health in the sense that it can interfere with sleep patterns. Learning language can be a significant contributing factor to getting a job insofar as it can open doors to multinational corporations. Poor hygiene can frequently contribute to skewing lab results in that it can cause cross-contamination. Skewing, skewing is the verb, and this means to miscalculate something and then cause a problem with results. It is very commonly used in things like results, and it means that you've caused some sort of error through an earlier miscalculation. It can cause cross-contamination. Well, for example, if something touches something else in a laboratory situation, maybe if you touch something with your hands, then you will have ruined the sample and we can't use it. Antisocial behavior can sometimes lead to lower property prices in the sense that people do not want to move to an area where there is petty crime. Petty crime means small crime, like breaking windows and stealing bicycles. The government's decision has absolutely resulted in losing many of our best scientists insofar as they can get better career opportunities abroad. English language lessons have a hugely positive impact on building students' confidence in that it can make them feel more secure. Online classes could well be extremely effective in developing students' confidence in the sense that they can learn at their own pace and improve their standard. And the last one down here, vaping might well be one of the main causes of teen heart disease in that it is seen as a cool new trend. So that's how we build causal relationship sentences. You must be careful and pay attention to this section here, especially the relationship between each causal phrase and its verb, whether it uses an article or not, and what preposition it uses, and the verb must be ing. That's all from me. The very best of luck, and I'll see you all next time.